Oh hi, I didn't see you there. My name is Nadia Hogan and I'm a potential investor in the Hogan's Construction Company. With the increase in housing demand in Texas, residential building construction industry is booming once more. Construction businesses have a number of considerations when choosing their entity structure. A primary concern is liability. The last thing we want is to leave our personal assets unprotected because of the entity structure we choose. Tax opportunities are also a concern. So what do you need to know about each entity type? I'm here to tell you about the pros and cons about each type of entity and why I would elect a limited liability company to start the Hogan's Construction Company. As you may know, a sole proprietorship is one that business owners who operate their business as individuals with no partners. The major advantage is that the owner owns the entire business and has the right to receive all the profits because he or she assumes all the risk. Other advantages are that it's less costly, few legal formalities involved, no documents needed to be filed, and flexible decision making. The major disadvantages are that when the owner dies, the business dies, and raising capital is limited to personal assets and those who are willing to make loans. Another is the lack of continuity and limitations on funding. The tax implications for sole proprietorship is that the owner pays only personal income taxes on the business's profits. The liability implications are that the owner has unlimited liability or legal responsibility. In other words, he or she bears all the burden of any losses or liabilities incurred by the business. The owner's personal assets are at risk. Creditors can go after personal assets to satisfy the business's debts. If the business is being sued, the owner is personally liable. When one or more persons agree to do business together, they enter into a partnership. The partnership is a pass-through entity and not a tax-paying entity. The entity's income is passed through to the owners of the entity who pay income taxes and can deduct a share of the partnership's losses on their individual income tax returns. Some of the advantages of a partnership are that it's easy to create, and as the number of partners vary, the partnership continues to exist. The liability implications of a partnership is that partners are personally liable for the debts of the partnership. Creditors of the business can go after personal assets if the business assets are not sufficient enough to cover the business liabilities. In most states, the liability is essentially unlimited because the acts of one partner in the ordinary course of business subject the other partners to personal liability. One of the disadvantages due to multiple partners is the lack of control and management for each partner. This is one of the concerns as a construction company. Partners may assume risk for the work that they're unfamiliar with because of the other partners. Limited partnership consists of at least one general partner and one or more limited partners. An advantage of the general partner is that they have a voice in management in the business, unlike the limited partners. But a disadvantage is to that general partners are personally liable because they are responsible for all the business management. An advantage to the limited partners is that they are only liable to the extent of their capital contributions, but a disadvantage to that they have no voice in business management. The liability implications of general partners is that they bear unlimited liability to the partnership's creditors. For limited partners, they are limited to the capital that they contribute as long as they don't participate in management. The tax implication for a limited partnership is the same as general partnership with the pass-through taxation. The profits and losses of an LP flows to the partners who report their shares on the individual tax returns, which are proportionate to their percentage of the ownership. An LLC is a popular entity choice for a construction company and for a good reason. LLCs allow owners to protect their personal assets from creditors and personal claims. An LLC can be taxed as a sole proprietorship, a corporation, or a partnership. LLCs also is a pass-through tax entity like a partnership. The entity itself is not taxed. This tax treatment also permits an LLC to allocate income and expenses among the owners. LLCs are great to eliminate liabilities for owners because they can be taxed as partnership without the associated risk. Some of the advantages of an LLC are that it's simpler and involves less paperwork than incorporating a construction business. Another advantage is the flexibility in deciding how the business will be managed and operated. A disadvantage is that it's not uniform among state LLC statutes. Corporations are a separate legal entity from its owners and taxed differently than other business structures. Being the only type of business that pays its own income taxes on profits wouldn't be the right choice for its construction company. The major disadvantage of a corporation is the double taxation, which brings us to the tax implication for corporations. Shareholders of the company are also taxed individually after distribution. This type of taxation cannot be deducted as business expenses. On the other hand, one of the advantages is that corporations' income tax rates are lower than owners' marginal income tax rates for the same amount of income. The liability implication for a corporation is that it provides limited liability. Shareholders are limited on their personal liability for business debts. One of the main advantages of incorporation is that the owner's personal assets are protected from creditors of the corporation and is only responsible for the invested portion. We chose not to elect sole proprietorship because of the unlimited liability and the lack of continuity. For partnerships, we don't want to be liable for the acts of other partners. Although a corporation protects us from unlimited personal liability, we believe it is not the best because of the double taxation. Lastly, we don't believe an LP will be right because of the different responsibilities for each partner. We want all members to be a part of business management. As a potential investor in Hogan's Construction, I believe choosing an LLC is the best form for our business entity. Other potential investor and I want this business to be taxed as partnership with the pass-through taxation because we want to distribute profits to our members and avoid double taxation like a corporation. One of the reasons LLC would be great is the flexibility in terms of business operations. The advantage of choosing an LLC is that foreign investors can participate, which will help our name and business grow domestically and internationally. Because Texas is growing economically, we worry not about the LLC not being uniform among state statutes. Until our business is ready to expand, we want to keep it growing in state around the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex area, where there is the most increase in housing demand. Invest in Hogan's Construction today, and we guarantee the homes of tomorrow.